Information that your father probably shouldn't have taught you, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Counting cards while playing blackjack is a 100% proven method of not only beating the casino, but making a shit ton of money while you're at it. And I can guarantee you, it might not be as hard as you think. So when you're counting cards, there are 3 things you need to keep track of. First, you want to memorize a formula called the basic strategy table. Now, this is going to be the mathematically perfect next move to make depending on what you're dealt and what the dealer is dealt. And while you should be memorizing this entire table, you do not have to. The casinos allow you to have this exact cheat sheet on the table with you while you gamble, so you can kind of overlook that part. Next is the actual counting of the cards. And for starters, we're going to be putting every single card into one of 3 groups. First, we got 2 through 6, or the low cards, which are going to be given a value of +1. 7, 8, and 9 are going to be given a value of 0 because they do not affect the count at all. And 10 through ace, or the high cards, are going to be given a value of -1. So for every card that's dealt, you're either going to add 1, subtract 1, or keep the count the exact same. This is also known as the running count. For example, we have -1, +1, -1, 0, +1, +1, and +1. The count is always going to start and end at 0. So if the count's currently at a +2 and we get dealt a 0, a -1, a -1, a 0, and a +1, what group should the last card be a part of? A high card, a low card, or a middle card? If you said high card, you're correct. Good job. And lastly, every single blackjack game is going to be played with between 2 and 10 individual decks. You want to keep track of how many decks are still in the shoe by trying to guesstimate how many decks are in the discard pile. The reason you do that is because you need to take the running count and divide that by the amount of decks that are left in the shoe, which will give you something called the true count. For example, let's say I have a running count of 10 and I know for a fact that there are 2 decks left in the shoe. That means I have a true count of 5. The true count determines how much money you're going to be betting. The higher the count, the more money you're going to put on the table. Now, individually, all 3 of these things in the short term are not guaranteed to make you any money. However, if you do everything correctly, over the long haul, you will beat the casinos and potentially make a shit ton of money while you do it. So good luck, and never forget to count.